Hey, what's going on guys? Flick here and welcome to the series finale of the West Ham career mode, and we have a big episode today as we try to win the FA Cup and secure the Premier League title. But before we can get into that, we have to distribute the awards. I want to thank you guys not only for participating in the awards voting from last episode, but also for your continued support through the comments, through the likes, throughout this series. We've been going since the start of FIFA 16, which is so hard to believe, but thank you guys so much for participating in this series, and it's made it much more enjoyable for me, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it as well. But on to the awards. Of course, there's two to distribute, one being the most valuable player or MVP, and the other being the best transfer. The MVP voting was actually quite close, with the winner only being one vote ahead of the other candidates, and the winner was Dimitri Payet. Of course, he's been around since Season 1, and he's still in the side in Season 3, so I think that was a good choice by you guys. Some honorable mentions, and these guys were only one vote shy of Dimitri Payet's total, are going to be Antonio Aubameyang as well as Zarate, and I think you could make a case for any of those four players because they each contribute to the team in quite different ways. But in general, I think this goes to show what this team was built like. I didn't try to just sign one player that would steal the show. I tried to build a balanced side, and I think we've achieved that throughout this series. Now, in terms of best transfer, it was a bit of a blowout. The winner of this award is going to be going to Ariza Balaga, who's grown so much since he joined this side. I think it was a year and a half ago. But man, he has grown so much for us, and I think he's up to an 87 rating, which is absolutely ridiculous as a keeper. And the player that was just behind him was Paul George Entep. He's been around since Season 1, and he has been an incredible player for this team. But with all the awards distributed, let's continue with the episode, and let's win the FA Cup and Premier League. Alright guys, this is it. We're in the home stretch in the month of April. Not too many Premier League games left to go this season. And of course, the one FA Cup game against Liverpool. That's going to be the final. And we're going to be playing 3 games in this episode. Of course, the FA Cup game, the final match of the season against Leicester City, where we can hopefully lift the trophy. And we're also going to be playing against Chelsea, who is in the top 5. I decided to go with them instead of Spurs because Spurs is sitting 8th and they're not in the best of form. So I decided to go with that Chelsea match instead. And I hope you guys are okay with that. Missing out on the Spurs rivalry, but you know, we'll move on and hopefully get the win against them. But our first match today will be against Hull City. Of course, we're going to simulate this one because they are not in the best of form. Aubameyang does pick up the first goal in the 25th minute, but Livermore gets a goal back for Hull City in the 50th minute. And guys, that's how the match ended. 1-1 away from home. Not the best of luck for us. But there's Spurs' form. 2 losses and a draw in their last 3 games. And we started the game off pretty well. Entep and Ruben Neves getting on the score sheet. Aubameyang missing another penalty. And Winston Reid being sent off with a red card. Luckily, though, it was Mahrez who managed to pick up the 3rd goal for us. And we managed to get the win. And big news right here as Sebastian Young hits that 80 overall rating. And those of you that have been following the series know how important that is. That means all of our starting 11 players are at or above 80 rated when at full fitness. That is absolutely incredible, and I'm so excited to test that out. But Chelsea are in the top 5, so we had to make sure that we played a good game here. Here's our starting 11, Abubakar and Aubameyang up front. They've got Loic Remy up front for them, and Sanabria on the bench, who could be dangerous. We'll see if he does get subbed on. But getting into the highlights now, it's Vendel. He's back from injury. He's going to find Abubakar. Payet now on the ball, playing it through. And just like that, it was 1-0. Aubameyang adding to his goal scoring this season. Right now, he's still top of the league, and he's trying to hang on to that. Jerome Boateng, not too happy about that goal. And it seems like Chelsea's going with a German defense. I think they've got Hummels as well as Boateng. So, you know, it's very interesting the kind of transfers they've made since the start of career mode. One of the teams that actually have been making transfers, whereas you look at the likes of Liverpool, who haven't been doing much. But that was just an absolutely fantastic run by Abubakar, managing to get by Begovic there and making it 2-0 for us. Only 25 minutes into the game, so things were looking really sharp for us. Looked like we were going to pick up a win against a good side in Chelsea, but they come right back. Some unselfish play, and it was Pedro who managed to tuck that one in the back of the net, making it 2-1 and giving a little bit of hope to the Chelsea side. We go into halftime, though. They didn't create too many opportunities. To be fair, we didn't create that many either, but it's been the last 2 episodes or so. We've just been so clinical with our chances. And here's Aubameyang just doing a couple ball rolls, some unselfish play, and look at that for a pass. He's going to play to the side. Maybe should have gone with the shot with Aubameyang, but Begovic makes the save. And it was still 2-1 here in the 77th minute. Tolisso trying to get through that Chelsea defense, and he is just holding off Hummels. And Hummels, I'm not sure what he's going to do with it here, because Lanzini just steals it. He sees the man on the far side, and Aubameyang is going to tuck that one home, making it 3-1 and securing that win, and probably securing the Golden Boot award for Aubameyang. And we do get the win 3-1 in this match. Moving on from the Chelsea game, we have a simulated match against Aston Villa, and I thought we would definitely pick up a win, but then I thought again, because Aston Villa was doing fairly well in the league earlier this season. They've dropped down a little bit, but it was a close game for us. It was 1-1 going into the 80th minute, and that's how the match did end. And unfortunately, we weren't able to pick up a win going to this FA Cup match, which concerned me a little bit. I wanted the momentum going into this match, but after the draw, I was a bit nervous. Liverpool's a good side. We had to be careful. We did bring out a strong starting 11. I gave Mark Noble the start. How could I not? Of course, we had to give Mark Noble an appearance in this huge FA Cup final. But it's going to be Liverpool getting the first opportunities. Mark Noble, just talked about him. He gets the steal. Finds Batshuayi, who I also gave the start. Payet going to play through to Aubameyang. This is a great chance for us. And Oba trying to get it on that near post, but Bernd Leno makes a good save. And he has been a great shot stopper for Liverpool. I'd rate him higher over Mignolet any case, because Leno in this game is just incredible. Good tackle there by Markovic to take the ball off of our player. Here's Entep drawing the foul inside the box, and of course that is going to be a penalty kick every single time. Mark Noble, the man to step up to take this one. He's going to bury it in the back of the net, making it 1-0 for us in the 14th minute. That's going to change the momentum of things, and that is really going to open up the floodgates here. Now Aubameyang running down the pitch, using that pace, and just pushing it forward. He's just going to smack that one near post. Bernd Leno, what are you doing there? You got to guard your near post, man. And that makes it 2-0 for us 20 minutes into the game. We were just on form in this match. Coutinho trying to get Liverpool back into the game, but we were just out-muscling them. And just, we make a good tackle there. He sends in the cross, and that header going just inches wide. If they would have scored on that, I think Liverpool would have put up a fight. Of course, they had that match against Dortmund in real life a couple of days ago, so we can't count them out yet because they have made some crazier comebacks. But here's Lanzini trying to finish things off. He's going to play it through to Entep, the man who finished as the second best transfer in this series, sliding past the slide tackle, and he's going to go with this one. Getting it again by Bernd Leno and making it 3-0 for us. What a performance here in the FA Cup final. Things are gelling together. I was afraid going into this match, but my fears really, they didn't come to fruition because we played so well in this game. We tried to get a fourth goal right there, but that is the full-time whistle, and that's another piece of silverware for the team, adding to our tally for the last 3 seasons. But I knew this team was good enough to win the trophy. Of course, after being kicked out of the Champions League, I knew we had to do well in the FA Cup because that's a big piece of silverware to win in England, and that was a big match for us, taking it away from Liverpool, who were trying to get that win and kind of secure a little bit of hope for this season because they haven't done too well in the league necessarily. Here's the trophy celebration. Of course, it's going to be Mark Noble who's going to be lifting up this trophy for us, the captain who has just stuck with this team and allowed us to perform so well, adding a lot of leadership, and the fans are just freaking out. This is a big win for us, and you know, I was just so happy to share it with the team and the teammates, getting into the trophy celebration some more, as one does, and we're just getting hyped because we still maybe have some Premier League action to be celebrating about, just a couple of games away from now, but we're going to continue on now with our next matches. Leicester City would be our final opponent for this season, and I think this is a great way to end off the series because Leicester City is a club that has given us a lot of trouble. If you guys can remember, in the first season, I sold Valencia to Leicester, and he just seems to score every single time that we do play him. Of course, he's not going to be in the starting 11, but there he is sitting on the bench, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does get brought on. But this is the match. If we get the win here, we're going to be able to end the season off with a high note. I think at this point we have the Premier League secured, but we don't want to be celebrating after getting a loss. So let's get into the match here, and Hesse starting things off, trying to pass this one inside. It's going to be Dimitri Payet. Good turn. He's going to go with the shot, but Schmeichel making the save, and he's trying to get on the counterattack, looking for somebody to get open. At this point, I was just going with the attacking mentality. I wanted to score some goals, but that might have been a mistake because Okazaki, all he had to do was finish it, but he puts it right at Arrizabalaga, who's going to save that every single time. But we're pushing on now. Payet is going to play this one forward to Aubameyang. Oba is trying to get by that Leicester City defense, goes with a crossbody shot. Had that gone in, it would have been quite incredible. But Lawrence is able to collect it and pass it back to Schmeichel. Oba with the slide tackle. I think I had to do it right there. Regardless of what kind of foul we received, it was a yellow card, but still, you had to take the chance right there, because if he would have gotten contact with the ball, that would have gone in the back of the net, and you have to take those kind of chances. But here, John Stones, what a tackle, and he clears up some space. Leicester City's left back is nowhere to be seen, and that is not good news when you have Aubameyang running at you. He's going to be going with that near post shot, and this time he gets it by Schmeichel, getting that crucial goal for us just before halftime. And looking at the halftime stats, I was pretty pleased. Leicester City was hanging on to possession, but we were getting tons of opportunities. So we had the momentum going into the second half, and Aboubakar trying to do something right here. Plays it through to Payet. Can he get a goal for himself in the right place? And he hits the top of the crossbar, goes out of play. Man, if Payet would have scored in this game, that would have been big after winning the MVP award. But here's Simpson trying to get Leicester back in the match. And guess who? Enter Valencia, getting that goal for Leicester City in the 60th minute. And I just knew he would come back and score against us. He has had a grudge ever since we sold him. And it seems like every time that we do play him, he managed to get on the score sheet, which is absolutely ridiculous because he doesn't score that many goals in the Premier League. I think that's like his 8th goal or something, his 6th goal in the Premier League. And at this point, I was just trying to make some substitutions, bringing on some of our old school players like Cresswell and Noble, and hoping that they can maybe get us the victory. And we're pushing down the sideline with Mahrez. He's going to cut inside, looking for some support, maybe able to lay this one off. He's going to find Aboubakar. Aboubakar with the turn, and he's going to go with that shot on the near post, but he collects it again, and we're able to get the goal. Great stuff right there, just being at the right place at the right time, and able to put it in the back of the net. Leicester still trying to get into this match. It's Valencia. He's going to turn this one away. It's Albrighton. Should have probably taken a shot, but he's going to cross it in. And Arrizabalaga, what a save. And I think that might have even been a double save because that shot was nowhere close to being on target. But Leicester were bringing the pressure, trying to get back in this game. But Arrizabalaga, he wasn't having it. He wanted us to win this game, and he has just saved us so many times this season, this time included. And with that free kick and the header, we're going to get the win and end the season off with a high note, and we're going to be able to celebrate in style, guys, in front of the home fans against one of our rival teams throughout this series, Leicester City. What a win this was, and what a way to send off this series. I wouldn't have wanted it any other way. We've been building up to this moment where we've just gradually been improving this team, just making transfer by transfer, not doing any of that financial takeover stuff, but just building a solid side filled with some great players, and eventually we each got to over 80 rated, and I think we deserve this Premier League title. I would have liked to do a bit more in the Champions League, but an FA Cup trophy and a Premier League title, in my opinion, it's fantastic, and being able to do it in front of the home fans made it that much better. As a whole, I was completely ecstatic about this victory. But with the games wrapped up, I thought I would close this series out with a couple of announcements. Goalkeeper of the tournament goes to Arrizabalaga. The Golden Boot Award, no surprise, goes to Aubameyang. And the player of the competition also going to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. What a first season he's had. Quick squad report for you guys so you can see some of the player growth throughout the series. And man, you know, I'm really happy with how this team has progressed. Even some of our players on loan have been growing, and I would have liked to use a couple more players in this side, but considering that we've been going since the initial start of FIFA 16 save without any of the player upgrades, I think this team ended up at a pretty good rating. And of course, some players have gotten upgrades since then. There's the league table, and we're going to see Leicester City. That was a big game for them. If they would have won, then they could have potentially avoided relegation. But Leicester, Derby County, and Southampton not looking too great. Manchester United did pick up the Capital One Cup victory against Newcastle. Bayern ended up winning the Champions League against Barcelona. Wolfsburg did beat Inter Milan for the EuroLeague title. And we're going to be pushing on with a couple of the different leagues. Watford ending up at the top of the championship. Luton Town, shout out to B-, did end up at the top of the Football League 1. And it was Gillingham who ended up at the top of the Football League 2. Checking out some of the other countries, PSG ended up with the most points in France. And in Germany, it was going to be Bayern, who did win the Champions League as well. So good stuff for them with 83 points. Juventus did win the Serie A title ahead of Roma. And the Netherlands, PSV just edging it out against Ajax by 3 points. So close stuff there. And Sevilla, the sleeper team, does finish on top of La Liga. Big stuff for them. But guys, that's going to bring an end to this season and bring an end to this series. Of course, the board was ecstatic about our performance. And again, I want to thank you guys so much for your support throughout this series. I've had so much fun, and I hope you guys are looking forward to the next career mode. The only hints I'll give you is that we're going to be staying in the Premier League. Stay posted to the channel, and I'll be releasing that new career mode out soon. But until then, this has been Flick. Hope you guys have enjoyed this series. I'll be talking to you again soon.